Gervonta Davis confirms that he is returning this year. Thank goodness. We're going to get to see a fight. Word is, and this is from Gervonta, that it's going to be in December. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we've got some actual good news. Gervonta Davis was on Twitter yesterday and exchanged a series of emails with some well-known Twitterers, Ray Jackson and A-Side, two more well-known Twitter pages, and Gervonta, and between the three of them, it was confirmed that Gervonta Davis would be fighting in December. Opponent not named. The question was asked about whether it was Lamont Roach or not, but Gervonta didn't answer the question, just kind of moved on from there. But seeing as he did that on Sunday and he did it with the people that he did it with, he being Gervonta Davis, was actually talking to A-Side and talking to Ray Jackson, they knew full well that that information was going to get out and it was going to get out to everybody. So for me, this is tremendous news. For other people, it is just going to be another reason to complain. The reason why it is good news for me is because, quite honestly, I don't care who he fights. That may sound strange to people, but at this point in time, I don't care. Because the choice right now is for Gervonta. Will he fight somebody like Lamont Roach or will he not fight at all this year? I enjoyed the Frank Martin fight immensely. Thought the fight did well, enjoyed watching the fight, glad that he fought Frank Martin. If I was listening to all these people complaining about every single solitary fight he has, I wouldn't have watched the Frank Martin fight and had an absolute ball watching the fight. There are some other fights like that took place this year, like Edgar Berlanga and Canelo Alvarez. Although that was far from the fight that many or most boxing fans were wanting, the fight itself wound up being very good, and we had a good evening of boxing. So this news, even without the opponent being named, should be good news for anybody that enjoys boxing and that is a fan of Gervonta Davis. Now, who could it be? Obviously, the leading choice is Lamont Roach, because Lamont Roach is the only person that I know of where there had been rumors around he fighting Gervonta Davis, but that person didn't deny it. Specifically, to state it more clearly, Lamont Roach has not denied that he's fighting Gervonta Davis. So you have Rayo, who confirmed that he was not fighting Gervonta Davis. And also, should I also say in this video that Rayo also acknowledged that he had never been really offered a fight with Gervonta Davis, despite the fact that people are out there saying that he was in negotiations for a fight and Gervonta Davis was trying to stiff him with a rehydration clause. Only thing that happened was somebody asked Rayo Valenzuela if he would be interested in a fight, and he said, yeah, but not at 130. However, Rayo Valenzuela himself is not available for a fight because he has a rematch with Isaac Cruz. So that's one. You have pretty much same situation with everybody else. You know, Loma didn't want to fight him this year, won't be coming back until next year. Shakur had another fight, actually went and had another fight scheduled, got injured, and now he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Edwin De Los Santos is coming off of a loss, despite people acting like Edwin De Los Santos was the guy that Gervonta is supposed to be fighting. So if you look at all the competition, you say, okay, well, none of these guys are really available for Gervonta. So what should Gervonta do? Many people would say, well, Gervonta should do, it doesn't matter what Gervonta Davis does, it's bad. If he doesn't fight, he's bad because he's ducking all the smoke and he's stalling out the division and he's inactive, and that's the problem with the PBC. But if he does fight, It's a garbage fight. It's a garbage fight because Lamont Roach has never fought at 135 before, and he's moving up, and that's not right, even though Gervonta Davis himself is a former 130-pounder, and the fact that there's a bunch of fighters that move up all the time and fight people. Terrence Crawford moved up to 154. Is Madmarov not supposed to fight him, right? Because he's moving up in weight. Guess what else? The WBO actually has a rule in place where their champion, if they name him a super champion, moves up and gets a belt right away. And that's mandated by the WBO when there's a super champion. So why can't Lamont Roach do it? My understanding is that the WBA itself is going to do that. Just with all of the championships, just allow the guy that's the champion below to immediately move up and be in position for the championship at the higher weight classes. Presumably to facilitate more quick fighters running up weight classes more quickly. Not sure what I feel about that. That could actually be a good thing if it would get weight bullies out of the division faster and just allow them to hurry up and get to where they want to go. Anyway, I think the best solution to that, however, is same-day weigh-ins, but, we're not going to get to that. But anyway, look, I'll take activity over, I'll take active over inactive any day. That was a big problem with Errol Spence Jr. People complain about it with Errol Spence, and we see it with Errol Spence. 2 fights in 4 years. I do believe that's about the amount of fights he's had. 2 fights in about 4 years. Is that what we want from Gervonta? No. Want him in the ring. December, awesome. Especially in the situation that Gervonta's in, where really he's the event himself. This fight, if it winds up being Lamont Roach's, it will most likely be in DC. So a great opportunity to go on a trip to DC and enjoy the fight there. And if you're from DC, there's going to be a lot of people that know Lamont Roach in DC and in Baltimore. Those guys fought each other in the amateurs. We're on the same circuit in the amateurs. Seems like a great way to bring boxing back to an area, bring boxing to an area that really does produce a lot of great professional fighters. And this could serve as momentum or motivation for other young fighters in those areas to get into the sport, right? Because these guys are homegrown guys. But no, we don't want to see that. We want him to sit around and wait and not see him fight at all, because he should have fought Edwin De Los Santos. Of course, unless he had actually decided to fight Edwin De Los Santos. In that case, he would have been better off fighting Lamont Roach, because really, it doesn't really matter what he does. The criticism is going to come. So since that's the case, just fight. But thanks for Gervonta Davis doing that. I appreciate it. Him responding to Ray Jackson and A-Side. I still confused by what A-Side said. I didn't tell the truth about. I'm real petty, A-Side. I be listening to that stuff. Anyway, much love to everybody that came by and checked out the video. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And again, my thing is, I am moving forward, and I'm going to try my best to be consistent in this moving forward when we talk about boxing. I am absolutely going to push towards fights getting made. And if somebody won't fight somebody at a particular time, I'm going to complain about the fact that they won't fight any particular person. But I'm not going to stand up here and get in the way of an actual fight being made so that we can have a weekend of boxing. Because really and truly, man, there's way too many good fighters for there to be this many weekends to go by without fights. And I do think that the attitude of boxing fans and the things we say on Twitter and the same things we say on YouTube may cause people that are willing to invest money, may cause them pause to invest in certain fighters because of what they hear over the airwaves from us. No, man, let's see the fights, man. Stop complaining about every fight that can get made because you don't like the guy that is fighting, and so therefore you don't like the guy that he could be fighting against. Anyway, that's my take. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.